I just had lunch yesterday with a guy he's not a church guy. He's just given up on the whole project because of what's been happening. And he's a lefty, and he's given up on the project because of recent Supreme Court decisions and read all of this. And he doesn't see a path forward because of the inevitability that seems to be setting in, right? And I know a lot of pastors who are that way and a lot of Christians who are that way. And what I find when I do this work is that hope comes from experiencing the other and realizing nobody died, right? No fatalities. I do these courageous conversations. The largest one was 450 people at Wayzata Church in Minnesota when I was a pastor there. The marriage amendment came on the ballot. And so a referendum on the definition of marriage, which brought up all kind of, it was 2012. It was the issue on the ballot. And everybody in town was buzzing about it, but they were buzzing about it with the people who were on their side, right? The people over here were defining marriage in one way, people over here were defining it, and they only talked to one another in their groups. So we decided to give them a chance, and we opened the floor and we said, we're just going to be church. This isn't about the whole community. This is just about us. And 450 people came out, right? Because they needed help. By the end of the night, we hadn't done it perfectly. It's the first one we ever did, right? But by the end of the night, people were looking and tilting their heads because everybody was still standing. We talked about the hardest issue in the air at the time. And we came away able to love one another mostly. And so that experience kind of gets replicated in conversations, whether I lead them or other people lead them, whether somebody asks somebody to lunch, right? Or coffee and says, you know what, it's clear we don't see eye to eye. And I've been avoiding you in coffee hour, or I've been avoiding you at the Elks Club meeting, or, whatever it is. Let's have a coffee. And instead of avoiding it, let's talk about it. And let's get curious with one another and actually listen to one another. When people do that, they start to get hope. But there are too few people doing it.